Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're doing well. What's good, what's good, what's good? So, yeah. Tonight's question, and I thought people might find it to be interesting. Tonight's question is, do you think Ethereum will outperform Solana? And we'll get into that a little bit later on today. And if you've hit other, drop it down in the comments, all right? So, there's a company called SharpLink Gaming. They raised about $425 million for an Ethereum treasury. Now, that's actually not such a big deal. I mean, as far as $425 million goes, you know? But at $425 million, they want to do this treasury. Now, what's really cool is the co-founder of Solana, Raj Gokhal's board seat. Yeah, he has a board seat there. And they're doing that with Solana. I mean, with Ethereum. That doesn't strike you as kind of... So I'm kind of like, wow, that's interesting to me. What's even more interesting to me is that he was doxxed, or I'm sorry, they were doxxed. Because I don't know if Raj is a girl, guy, he, she, it, rat, cat, dog, goldfish. Have no idea. So Raj Gokhale was doxxed. Somebody tried to hold ransom his information and they wanted 40 Bitcoin. And he was like, nah, I'm good off that. So they decided, okay, we're going to dox him. They leaked his passport details via Migos' Instagram, exploiting social engineering attacks. Now, I told you last night that we should be very aware of things that are going on within the space, right? I think things will start to die down once everybody's got crypto. So, and also they're not going after regular people. They're going after like people that they know have big money, long money. That's why they went after this guy. Still, be aware of everything that's going on. Something else that you should be aware of. Cantor Fitzgerald, they have their business where they're going to be doing the whole Bitcoin lending thing. $2 billion as a lending initiative, and it'll be with Falcon X and Maple, right? Then they've got Crypto.com and Anchorage Digital to handle custody. That's not small. That is not small. That right there is going to be a burgeoning business, especially depending upon at what levels they do their lending, right? Like what's the minimum that they want to do for their lending? Now, Cantor Fitzgerald deals with people with long money. When I say long money, I mean long money. So that's something to pay attention to, and I'm pretty sure they're going to stick to that. However, it's not that hard to imagine that they might try to go just a little bit lower, a little bit deeper. Captain Banana in the house. Thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself. Greatly appreciated. And Captain Banana proves that she's got a long memory because I said that the other night. That's actually funny. Thank you for that. I needed to laugh because I am not feeling 100%. My eyes are pink. I'm tired. I feel chilly. It's chilly and it's like 70 degrees outside. So yeah, nah, I'm definitely not feeling 100% tonight, but that's not going to stop us. We've got Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, aims to raise $2.5 billion via what? Stock and convertible notes to buy Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. They want to buy Bitcoin. Aiming to integrate, just everything that they're doing into that space. It's kind of scary. They're also going to be using Crypto.com for custody. That's two big wins really, really fast for Crypto.com. Kraken's not the only one. Interesting. They didn't choose Coinbase. Interesting that they did not choose Coinbase. I mean, it is called Trump Media and Technology Group. And our boy Brian Armstrong has been trying to kiss that ring as much as he possibly can. I mean, didn't he offer fast track jobs to those that come from Doge? Yeah. So I'm surprised and not surprised. Oh, why am I not surprised? Because that happens to be what that regime does all the time. You can kiss that butt as much as you want, but the deal will always go to somebody else. You've got to be spectacular in kissing tail. And I guess Brian Armstrong didn't do it right. And Brian Armstrong has his own legal problems, so I guess that's why they kind of said, yeah, we'll go with somebody else. So it's interesting. That's interesting. Then you've got Top Win International has rebranded to Sora, surged 200% since April, and shifted to a Bitcoin treasury firm. Are you catching this? This is how this is moving, right? This is literally how it's moving. It's something to pay attention to. What else do we have? So somebody is trying to get my attention. Rick Ritchie in his house. What's going on, baby? So Circle, if you don't know, has been the center of many a conversation. They said they want to go IPO, right? They want to raise somewhere between $5 and $7 billion. Actually, they want to go IPO for somewhere between $5 and $7 billion. They want to raise about $600 million plus. Okay. They want to do it on the NYSE or the New York Stock Exchange using CRCL. Everybody thinks they're going to scoop me, and I don't know why they think that. You got to wait for all the news before you start asking me about stuff, because I might actually have it. But yeah, now they're being backed by JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup. Now, that doesn't sound crazy, except that I want you to pay attention to those names: JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup. Pay attention to those names, not just because of this deal. Just look at the landscape and pay attention. Pay attention. JP Morgan, we know, has a lot of stuff going on. Something else is that we also know that Citi has a lot going on. You want to know who I actually don't hear a lot about, or not too much about? Goldman Sachs. We really don't hear a lot about Goldman Sachs all that much. Let's see. When was the last time I heard about something from Goldman Sachs? Let's see here. Underwriters for eToro, they were involved in that. Goldman Sachs will launch 24/7 blockchain trading of tokenized U.S. treasuries. That was announced May 2nd. So I guess they have kind of been busy, just not in the way that I thought they would be. They're always on the business side, which you got to give it to them. They're very focused, almost acutely focused. Let me see what I missed. And picked other because there is not enough information in the question. I think there's more than enough information in the question. I really do. But I like how you qualified it. But if you're asking from here on out, I would say ETH. That's okay. I figured. I mean, I know where you're coming from with not enough information, but there's kind of enough information, right? I mean, why did Solana pop up so much? But we'll get to that. Now, what else do we have right now in terms of, I'm not going to say good news, but news. We've got Michael Saylor rejecting on-chain proof of reserves for Strategy's Bitcoin holdings, citing security risks. I don't think he's wrong. I do not think he's wrong. I don't think there's a reason to have, you can have it audited and you can have your auditors, do whatever. And I'm pretty sure Strategy gets audited. Actually, I know they get audited. They're a publicly traded company. So that happens all the time. So I'm not worried about that. But on chain, I think people take doing things on chain too far, too much, right? I think they go way too far with that sometimes. Hutanik, did you invest in yourself today, sir? What else do we have? We've got Bitcoin spiked to about 112 over the past couple of days, then obviously dropped near 112. Then it obviously dropped once we started yapping about tariffs again. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. I'm telling you, for the next, I mean, nothing's going to happen against the EU until July 9th. You know, threaten, then pull back, threaten, then pull back. Excuse me. Told you I'm not feeling 100% tonight. Actually, I'm busting Hutanik's chops because I know he invested in himself today. We've been talking. So, looking at your comment, I don't think so. I want you to go take a look at everything that Ripple's been doing. I don't think so. I think you're absolutely wrong with that one. I can see why you would say that. And at first I was thinking the same thing, but then I started looking at all the deals that they have lined up. Just look at the announcements that they've had over the past little while and you'll see what I mean. You'll absolutely see what I mean. Oh my God. Captain Banana, if you make me bust out laughing again, I swear I'm going to put you in the corner. Holy moly. But yeah, no, you should have, that was the one you should have left. Here's the reason why. I was listening to CNBC or Fox or one of these news stations, and somebody literally brought up the boy who cried wolf. They literally brought that up. And I just sat there and I was like, wow. Because it's true. He's blinked on China. He's blinking on Japan. He's about to blink on Europe. It's a lot of yakety schmackety. And I think we all need to know, we all need to pay attention to, why is all that yap going on? It's to take our eyes off of something else. That's all it has ever been. Oh, I'm sorry. And market manipulation. Because he knows. Every time he talks tariffs, the market goes like that. You don't make the market go like that unless you're ready to buy in or your friends buy in. So that when you say, oh, no, I'll pause a little bit and the markets pop back up. Look at what happened today. So, yeah. The boy who cried tariffs. He knows it. He's using it. And we need to pay attention to it. Those coffers are getting huge. Every time there's a move to be made, that circle of people make huge money. Huge money. So we should be paying attention. People in the United States need to wake up and kind of go, why is that happening so much? What's going on here? Yeah. Pay attention. I'm listening to the conference at the same time as being questioned right now, and David Sachs just finished. I have no respect for David Sachs. None. You know why? People ask me, how come every now and then you listen to the All In podcast? Because it's a bunch of billionaires getting in and chewing the fat and sharing with us how their brains think. What's really going through their heads. And they only think with their wallets. They don't think about human rights. They don't think about anybody's rights or anything else. They only think with their wallets. I was looking at Chamath Palihapitiya, and he literally said, oh, I'm a big supporter of MAGA. And I have no problem with that, except for you're only thinking of your pockets. And here's the kicker. He's not thinking about our pockets. He's only looking at it at his level. Listen to all those wealthy people speak. They only speak at their level. They don't speak down here where these people are. MAGA, not MAGA. They don't speak down here. They speak up here. And when I listened to them, I was listening to David Sachs on the last All In podcast. And I was like, wow, listen to this guy. Just listen to this guy. Everything that he's saying is only favorable to the haves. Does not help the have-nots. They're very good. They're very adept at pointing the finger so that everybody blames whatever they're pointing at instead of blaming them. They're still playing the same old game for hundreds of years. We should be aware. We're going to see the greatest wealth transfer going from the have-nots up to the haves. Why is that? Well, the permanent tax cuts, that helps them. That doesn't help us. It does not help us. The people that have to get up and go to work every day does not help us. It helps them. Takes our money and gives it to them. We pay more taxes. They pay less taxes. We pay more taxes and lose benefits. We pay more taxes and lose our money. Who pays into social media? Into Social Security. Sorry about that. Stitch is going nuts. Who pays into Social Security? Yeah, the poor folk do. So where's that money go? Oh, well, it goes from us to them because they're cutting benefits. They're cutting Medicare and Medicaid. They're upping the debt limit by $4 trillion. All of this affects your bags. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, here's something that's probably going to catch a lot of people off, just off to the side. It's not a Republican or Democrat thing. They would have you think that. It's not. It's not. It's a have and have not thing. It's always been a have and have not thing. We have it, which means you are not to have it. Just saying. So we've got to go about ourselves and find out what can we invest in, how can we do better, how can we build upon what we have. There are two pools: wealthy, poor. Okay? And there are a lot of people out there. There are some good wealthy people. Let's not get it twisted. There's some good people and there's some bad people. And some of those good people are trying to teach you how to do your own research. They're telling you about things. They're getting it out there for you. Right? I saw somebody and it was a little skit, and they posted that they're doing a retreat and the retreat is at their house. And everybody was kind of like, oh, it's at your house again. Every year we go to your house. The person's like, yeah, exactly. It's called the Augusta rule. I can spend 14 days out of the year, have my company pay for renting my house, retreat, my house, you pay me. It means I get that money tax-free. I own the business, I own the house, I get to do that tax-free. Money transfers for me tax-free. Think about that. So if you own a house, you own a business, you're not doing that, big mistake. Big mistake. You should think about that. You should really, really think about that. There are lots of things out there that people are thinking about. Lots of things out there that people are thinking about that are meant to help you learn how to do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. You've got to build from here. You've got to build from here. If you're not building from here, you're destined to stay down there. Something else that'll make you powerful: define your enough. Sounds insane, but those people that haven't defined their own enough, they tend to do things for the sake of doing them, and they kind of do them haphazardly. Define what enough is and shoot for it. I've defined my enough, right? And then what's the rest of my work geared toward? My last name. That's what's up. I want to pay more taxes. Ask not what your... That was in a movie. Hootanet's trying to be funny. Trying to be funny on a Tuesday that feels like a Monday, and I don't feel so hot. What else is going on? We've got Sheboygan, Wisconsin. If you live in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, or do business there, you should be insanely pissed off. Here's why. Sheboygan, Wisconsin had a breach. 67,947 people residence data, okay, social security numbers, dates of birth, blah, 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 due to an October 2024. What month are we in right now? November, December, January, February, April, May, March, December, January. No, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months. 7 months. Almost 70,000 people had their data just blown all over the internet 7 months ago. 7 months ago. And let me tell you something. There's no recourse. There's no recourse. I mean, how much money do you think Sheboygan has? There's no recourse. So imagine, what were you doing that you didn't secure these people's information? Wow. Wow. So sure, I'm paying attention to all this stuff, so you should be paying attention to that. A $65 billion Dutch pension fund is saying they warned U.S. money managers against abandoning responsible investing while Trump is in office. That's not a small thing. That's a $65 billion pension fund that's telling them, mind yourself. Mind yourself. I want you to stop and think about that. Imagine how many other people are doing it. It was in a movie. Of course it was funny. Of course it was funny. So yeah, I'm looking at everything that's going on. I'm saying to myself, we have to practice user sovereignty. If you don't know what that is, go buy my first book, Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth. Want to know about the GMB3? Buy my second book. Buy my second book, the GMB3, right? The Art of Research, Timing, and Deliberate Wealth. You want to do that. You're going to learn so much from those two books. Almost a ridiculous amount. Almost a ridiculous amount. Then you've got Tether. Now, the United States is making it difficult for Tether to do business here using USDT. So USDT, Tether said, well, fine, we'll give you a compliant, stable coin, and we'll focus outside of the United States. That's right. Let that wash over you. Tether just said, we're going to pay attention to more business outside the United States. Damn. We should all be thinking about that, because what does that actually mean? You want to know something else? They used to be number 19 in the amount of debt they hold of the United States. Now they're number 18 with $125 billion in U.S. Treasuries. $125 billion in U.S. Treasuries. Yeah. They just surpassed Germany and the UAE. United Arab Emirates, in case you don't know what the UAE stands for. That's huge. That's huge. So imagine Japan flexed with $50 billion, a $50 billion sell-off. China flexed with a $50 billion sell-off. They can flex with a $50 billion sell-off. Yet we still keep going after them. What did they do wrong? Oh, they're just not here in the United States. That's the only thing you can say. They're not here in the United States. That's telling, to say the least. Very telling. Polkadot met with Texas, committed meeting on moving titles to blockchain tech. I don't know that was a final decision. I think they're meeting with a few. But yeah. I told you guys to pay attention to the title space. And I don't care who the hell they choose. Pay attention to the title space. That's huge. Huge. I told you, California did it with automobiles. Now Texas is thinking about you know how many states are actually thinking about doing it? How much easier it will be? Wow. It's going to be no joke. It's going to be no joke. When you think about RWA, real world assets, that's a big space. That's a huge space. Anything that has a title to it. Automobiles, property, all kinds of things. Yep. It's going to be big. I don't know that I want my medical records tokenized. I know I want them digitized. I know I want them to expire is what I want. I can share it with you for as long as you're doing something on me, and then that's it. You ever watch that movie Roadhouse and he walked into the hospital and he had all his medical records right there in his hands? Yeah, right there. That one. That one right there. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Gemini also reported that millennials and Gen Z, about 50% in on crypto, and that they're actually driving adoption of crypto. Now you understand why I keep saying, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. The GMB3, Holmes House. You want to pay attention to that. Why? A lot of these people are getting into crypto and choosing not to do their homework. They're just palling around with their friends. Oh, look what I bought. Look what I bought. What'd you buy? I bought this. Why'd you buy it? I don't know. Had a cool name. Oh, yeah, cool. Where'd you get it from? Oh, okay. But they're not taking a deeper dive to understand how it all necessarily works. Some of them are. Those are the smart ones. I've met a few of those guys. People, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I find to be interesting. Not everybody's stupid. Not everybody's falling for the rope-a-dope on not educating America. That's right. Pay attention to these things. We've been getting set up for a long time. Hutanic says, I take the time to teach kids so they can be my exit liquidity. My exit liquidity. Yo, Hutanic's got issues. Hutanic's got issues. But yeah, that's some ish right there. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not going to be a long night. I am shot. Look at my eyes. My eyes are just disgusting right now. So, tonight's question. Do you think Ethereum will outperform Solana? Yes, no, whoa, other. So we've got 83% are saying yes. Nobody said no. Nobody said whoa. And only 17% said other. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And I already know who said other because it was Rick Ritchie. He said so. So when I look at this, I kind of go, okay, what's wrong with Ethereum? What's wrong with Ethereum? Fees. But they're working on that. Okay. Speed. Working on that too. They've been doing several upgrades, which is why Ethereum's quietly been ticking up. Okay. What's going on at Solana? Solana's cut a lot of deals in the past few days to do stuff. Okay. But what else is going on Solana? Meme coins. Meme coins. Yeah. On Ethereum, fees are not that bad. They've been coming down for a while. So everybody tries to make that argument. You could have made that argument before, but right now, not so much. Not so much. Right? And so when I look at everything that's going on Ethereum, I mean, who else is on Ethereum who's going to have stupid traffic? Name one. Name one project that's on Ethereum that's going to have an almost insane amount of traffic on Ethereum. Paying for with Ethereum. Just, do I have to give it to you? Do I really have to give it to you? I don't want to give it to you. You should guess. I'm going to let you guess. Can you hear Jeopardy playing? All right. Chainlink. To name one. And then you have a ton of projects that are already on Ethereum. Right? They're not at war. ETH and XRPL are not at war. Not at all. That's not how it works. Nah. We're not going to spread FUD like that. That's ridiculous. So when I look at Solana, why is Solana so big? Meme coins. Everybody knows that. It's because of meme coins. Well, what have we been finding out? Oh, the bots. 50 to 80% of the traffic for meme coins are bots. So why has Solana been doing so well? Meme coins. 50 to 80% of that meme coin traffic are bots. The remaining are human beings being pushed along by freaking bots. No, they have different use cases, man. That's not the same. No, it's not a market share war. It's not a war unless you're truly going after each other, and they're not. That's not how it works. So please, no FUD. But there's no way that Ethereum can outperform Solana. ETH market cap would have to pass BTC for that to be true. No, it doesn't. It's already outperformed. Dude, who has a larger market cap? Ethereum. You serious with that? Ethereum's going to do well, and they're going to continue to do well. They don't have to do anything more. They could just keep pace and still be ahead of Solana. Solana's got issues. Solana's got issues. Solana's got to take the momentum that they had from meme coins and put them into deals. Now that's what they've been doing. There are companies out there that are doing critical deals with Solana, and I have fear for them. I honestly have fear for them. And people are saying, why would you have fear for them? Well, I don't know that they fixed that network gremlin. And even if they did, because they haven't come out right publicly and said so, this was the problem, this is how we fixed it, blah, 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 blah. It just goes more toward their centralized nature and their lack of transparency. Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, I don't want to have anything to do with them. I mean, they can make me money, but put work on there? Real work? Nah. All they need is one hiccup in every company that's choosing them for real world assets and yada yada. They're going to feel that pain. Immediately, they'll feel that pain. Immediately. So, what can you do? Well, you could wait for Cardano to bridge Solana, and then you'd pretty much be safe. Yeah. That's what I'd be looking for. That's the only way. But I'm not looking for Solana to be around. I mean, one thing that I do believe is Solana is not, I don't think that they're a fly-by-night project. I think they hyped their project a lot. I think that they've got issues. I don't trust them because they're not transparent. How many X has ETH did this cycle compare? Huh? That's not the way it works, Rick Ritchie. Everybody hits a point where you're not going to X anymore. Everybody hits a point where you're not going to X anymore. And truth be told, Ethereum's got a long way before they hit their number. They got a long way to go. Just saying. And like I said, my issue is going to be, it's not the ability for me to make money off of them. It's their ability to fall prey to what they're doing. So Ethereum's GMB X factor is 0.84. Solana's GMB X factor is 0.66 to get to new all-time highs. So right now, I stand to make more if I have my money in Ethereum. Just if they both achieve their all-time high, I make more money with Ethereum. Ta-da! It's not about how much X they've made from here to there. You're talking lifespans. Excuse me. So you're talking a lifespan, right? how long have they been in business and how long they've X'd and how long they've been in business, how many times they've X'd. Yeah, you can't really compare the two. Not like that, not really. And truth be told, like I said, if I know that your traffic is mostly fake, I put no stock in you. I put zero stock in you. You're comparing the wrong metrics, dude. You're really comparing the wrong metrics. Go back and do some more research. Right now, Ethereum is still outperforming Solana, period. I understand what you're saying, but you're looking at the wrong metrics. You're looking at the wrong metrics. You're looking at, well, look at what they did before and look where they are now. You know, they closed the gap. Yeah, But if they were to both achieve their all-time highs within the same time frame, Ethereum outperforms. Period. Just saying. Do the math on that. It's not hard. It's not hard. You're pulling out the wrong metrics. Listen, I hear you. You like Solana, you can make money off of Solana. I'm not saying you can't make money off of Solana. I'm saying that I don't trust Solana. I'm going to make my money and I'm going to be done with Solana. I've made my money and I'm done with Solana. What I have left is OPM, other people's money. I have my original capital back plus really good profit. And what I have left is the rest of my profit. So yeah, I can afford to ride the wave. As a matter of fact, I can tell you now, when the market goes like this and it starts going like this, Solana's going to be the first one I sell. It will be the first one I sell. Dead serious. I mean, out of the real coins. Out of the meme coins will absolutely go first. Boom, done, finished. I don't have a lot of meme coins left either. I think Pepe might be the last one, maybe one or two. After that, yeah, I start going up the list on who goes first. It's based on math. I'll sell Solana before I sell Ethereum. Because at some point, everybody's going to come down. Everybody that shoots up fast falls the hardest. Remember that. Everybody that shoots up fast falls the hardest. If Bitcoin drops a little bit, all coins drop a hell of a lot. So yeah, there are certain established coins that I will sell last. Ken H, what's good? Hold on a second. Ken H, have you invested in yourself today? Inquiring minds need to know. And is that your first comment? Welcome. Welcome. So yeah. And yes, sir, you have invested in yourself. Thank you very much for letting me know. That's what's up. One of the first. I don't see anything else. See, that's the problem. They don't tell you this stuff. Let's do live chat. They don't tell you everything. So when I look at how there's also a website. I wonder if I have it in my list. I'll tell you what the website is. It's called Cryptocurrency Compares. It's at walletinvestor.com/compare. And you can compare different coins to different coins. Me, I do my own comparisons based on where I think they're going to go, what my risks are going to be. So you see how I'm weighing that? I'm weighing them on their normal tokenomics plus my risk framework tells me here's the picture I have for a given coin. And then I compare those coins to each other based on those factors. So it's, again, how I do my tokenomics, then how I have set up my risk framework, right? And then I start comparing everything. Because at that point, in my book, everything is level. I know as much about this coin as I know about that coin, and I can measure them appropriately. Why do you think one of the reasons why I came up with the GMB X factor was? Because I wanted everybody to be on an even scale. And that's what the GMB X factor gives me. It gives me an even scale. Gotta love Captain Banana welcoming people to the community. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Adjust your bags. Hutanic says adjust your bags 50% Sol and 50% ETH if it's a close run is what I do. You could do that. I've already adjusted my bags. I'm holding a hell of a lot more Ethereum than I am Solana because I got out and I put that money someplace else. So my profit is working for me. My profit is working for me. So you want to review your portfolios and you want to keep an eye on it. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. And people don't get that right. I wish you guys would really buy the book. And the reason why is because in the book, I tell you how to do your own research. The class I gave on how to do your own research, that's basically it. It's basically in there. The first big chunk, the first third. Second third, know your entries and know your exits. It's kind of sort of like a double entendre, right? Because most people think, oh, I should know the number that I have to get in and get out. Sort of. But then I should also know how I'm going to get in and how I'm going to get out. What's the path? What's the path for entry? What's the path for exit? Your path to exit is not always your path to entry. They're not always the same path. I take a look at every opportunity. So I'll make a list of here's how I can acquire something. Here's how I can sell something. So I know how to get it, where I might be able to play the Forex game, and how I can get rid of it, and how I might be able to play the Forex game. Yeah, people are tripping. People are sitting there going, huh? Like, yeah. I can buy it over here on the cheapy and sell it over here for a little bit more. So it's going up, and that's why I'm selling it. But maybe selling over here gets me more than selling over there. How do you figure that out? Go to CoinGecko, go to CoinMarketCap, look at the markets that they have for that particular asset, and it'll tell you how much that asset is going for up against another given asset like USDT or Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC. It'll tell you. And you can see, oh, snap, I came in at this number and I can get out at that number as long as you have an account there. Yes, you can. So, yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. If you look at sold transactions, it's common they fail, but go through after many failures. Ooh, so he's pointing out, he's telling you they've got issues. They might be able to handle a lot of transactions, but that doesn't mean all those transactions go through. You see how they do their math? Just saying. I set up a dummy profit profile on CoinGecko with the same dollar cost for all my coins. Do $100 across them all and watch which one does better. Just readjust your buy dates to what to rebalance. Well, to rebalance. Yeah. We all have silly games that we play so that we can kind of figure out what's going on. You could, like I said, you could always compare various coins to see what's going on with that. You want to put $10 a day on Bitcoin? Great. How would that perform on $10 a day in Cardano or Ethereum or Solana or blah, 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 freaking blah. Just saying. There are a lot of things that you could do out there that you could be paying attention to, and I strongly advise that you do pay attention. There's a lot of news out there. One of the reasons why I asked tonight's question is because Standard Chartered believes Ethereum will outperform Solana. More importantly, the way they said it was, we believe Solana will underperform Ethereum. Now, where did they get that information from? Obviously, Standard Chartered, they did a ton of research. But also it's going to come from, well, there are reports that on pump.fun and on this one and on that one that these transactions are from bots. And you get the bots going, it creates a buzz, and then the humans come along and do it. Bots did their job. Bots are there to get your attention. So is anybody doing anything on pump.fun that's worthwhile? Now, if you're ahead of the game, you're doing your research, you might be able to do something, say something. So we'll see. So I'm just saying, pay attention to these things. Pay attention to these things because there's a lot going on. Anyway, everybody, I'm not feeling 100%. I feel like I'm about to pass out. This is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you enjoy what I'm doing. If you do, you can even tell from my voice I sound horrendous. If you like what I'm doing, smash the likes. Definitely tell your friends about this community. It's the only community that does what it does with people like this. It's a crazy strong community, and I promise you, we're gonna get bigger. Got some sleeves got some things up our sleeves. We're gonna get better. We're gonna get stronger, and we're gonna get smarter together. Everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience, and as always, thank you very much for your trust. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.